consortiums. This is the third series by Dr. Tan Yin Chin. He has been speaking on this from the advocacy right now, so I think giving much more detail up to the 4th level of consortiums. So today we'll be listening to him and getting some knowledge of how his engineering services conduct consortiums. But before we go to that, I would like to play this video for our public as well as professionals to indulge and also get assistance from Malaysia Productive Corporation, which is PROVAC, which is Professional Virtual Advisory Clinics.
The COVID-19 outbreak has proven to be a strain on the global economy, and businesses, including professional services, are increasingly concerned about surviving this extremely challenging times. Although the government has initiated several stimulus packages to aid industry players, many are still struggling with the effect of this crisis. Movement control order has been lifted, but business activities are still adjusting to the new normal with social distancing practices. Be it severe disruption of cash flow, reduced demand for professional services, absence of revenue, and many more, these will definitely affect businesses. Introducing PROVAC. PROVAC stands for Virtual Advisory Clinics for Professional Services, initiated by the Professional Services Productivity Nexus of MPC. The objective of PROVAC, amongst others, is to support the professional services industry to rebuild capacity and capability, to rebuild their businesses due to the adverse impacts of COVID-19, by providing online advisory and consultation clinics via industry experts and specialists as advisors. PROVAC focuses on 3 main areas: financial consultation, innovative business operation, and intelligent services solutions. PROVAC is free. Want to register? Visit www.npc.gov.my/PROVAC. PROVAC, assisting professional services providers for a stronger comeback.
That was PROVAC, and I hope many of you will sign up, and MPC will direct you to the relevant advisory clinic sessions, and you can make your appointments to your time of your convenience. And there are many professionals that are around to assist your concerns, be that in the 3 areas, especially after the moratorium has just been lifted 30th of September last month. So I sincerely hope that a lot of you will get in touch with MPC and set your appointment. So moving on to our talk today, I think Dr. Tan has actually been around, and he has been past IEM president. So he has a lot of experiences in doing consortium, especially in engineering services. So without further ado, I will pass this to Dr. Tan. Dr. Tan, the floor is yours, and we'll give you until about 10:45, 10:50, then we'll have a quick Q&A session. Okay, Dr. Tan, all the best.
Thank you, Architect Moose. Okay, good morning to everyone. I would like to share the screen now. Okay. Can all of you see the screen? Okay, I believe so. Today, I'm going to talk about introduction to a model for government to grow Malaysian sustainable engineering consultancy firms. The system itself can also be adopted in a consortium manner. So despite originally is meant for engineering consultancy firm, but it can also be applied for any other discipline with slight tweak in the criteria. Basically, the content, I will start with the introduction. Then I will briefly talk about the weaknesses of a Malaysian consultancy firm, especially engineering consultancy. What are the weaknesses of our firms now? Number 3, model for government to grow the Malaysia Sustainable ECF Engineering Consultancy Firm. So the model will have at least 3 criteria. One is selection of a suitable consultant to participate, because in order to grow, that means the consultant itself must be committed. So that means you either join the MPC or the PSPN later for the consortium, or you are able to fulfill many of the criteria to be a sustainable. Okay, on the sustainable part, I believe the last week I did talk about it, so I'm going to repeat here. So the model also includes some 2 macro steps. One is at company level, how your company can fulfill this criteria. And another step is the B, individual level. Individual means the staff in your company. So we are not looking at the company, because sometimes a company may be very big, very reputable, but all the good people has left. So they only left with big shell and a big track record, but in reality, the people who are actually performing the job has left. So we have to look at, one is company level, that means their reputation, track record, and their system, which I will talk a bit. Then the next one, we have to talk about B, individual level. Are their staff still there? Are or all the experience they claim still have the people or the system to retain all this knowledge? Then I will talk about matching and grooming of ECF, how to, a simple method, and benefits of this model, and conclusion. So this is an introduction, because in order to go through the whole process, I believe is a half-a-day training. It will have many details that the participants have to participate and know how to do it. So today is just an introduction. As we are fully aware, the engineering consultancy firms has been stagnant for the last 40 years. I say stagnant, that means the most they grow is about 600 to 700. Then after that, stagnant, either they drop in size or they are remain there or slightly up and down. None of the Malaysian consultant in my record has exceeded 1,000. And that is actually very worrying professional service. So in order, because they cannot grow, they don't have the size. So they are not able even to compete regionally, because when you compete regionally, you are fighting with the rest of the world. You are fighting with Singapore, US, Hong Kong, and they are talking about tens of thousands of people. So sometimes it's not necessarily tens of thousands are good, but at least you must have enough sizable to at least have resources to export. So, and consequently, because of the size limitation, and when Malaysia government have mega project, they are very keen by the proponent of the project to engage foreign consultant, because by claiming that local consultant do not have the size, local consultant do not have the knowledge consultant do not have the experience, but that all can be resolved, as I want to highlight, if the government or the government link company give the local consultant the chance. That is a separate forum, we will talk about that. So in order for Malaysian government, okay, to grow, we know that we lack capacity for big and mega project, despite many of the Malaysian engineers are very capable, but they are all like spread out into small firms. So consortium is one of the way to combine them. So that's why MPC and PSPN are promoting that. So for this paper, basically I'm proposing a model for growth and sustainability of consultant with government facilitation, but the government are not coming out with extra cost. That means what this model is trying to do is that government can use a current procurement system for the government project to grow this sustainable consultancy firm, so that they can compete not only for local mega projects, they can also be export of services. So what the government needs to do is to refine and realign particular regulations and procurement system to promote growth and sustainability. Because current system basically is look at your capacity and capability to award the project to you. But they never look at how you are going to grow your company and how you're going to sustain your company after the project. So we have to tweak a bit on the current procurement system to incorporate regulation on the procurement. So The procurement system may have to incorporate the national agenda to encourage Bumiputra participation. As we all know, this is our national agenda. As our consultancy firm will grow with few of them, double their size and capacity within 5 to 10 years. I believe if the government adopted this system and with the project from the government, then I believe some of the firm can double in their size and also help to what they call it, grow the consultancy firm. Okay, then we can target for export of services. Next one. Okay, weaknesses of Malaysian engineering consultancy firm. I've been talking about that for the last 3 years. Okay, this is the list of international firms. Okay, from the list, you can see that E stands for engineering on the right side, EC, engineering construction, AEC, including architect, engineering construction, NYSE stands for they are listed in New York Stock Exchange. So you can see ECOM. I think many of you are fully aware. ECOM is listed in New York Stock Exchange. Look at the revenue, 18.2 billion. That was earlier, few years ago data. Staff strength, 87,000. So, and then you can look at their productivity, revenue per employee. So if all this, you convert them, productivity per worker, 200,000 USD per year, per worker. So, and there are also Jacobs, Teratech, Arcadis, WSP, Black and Veatch. I put the green color means that they are active in Malaysia. Okay, if people say Malaysia is a engineering consultancy is a sunset industry in Malaysia, nobody, no future for consultant. If no future, why do this international consultant listed in the stock exchange wanted to come to Malaysia? In summary, Malaysia has potential. They know it, and they have been getting good job from Malaysia. So now it's for Malaysian to consider how to grow our own consultancy, Malaysia brand Malaysia, Buatan Malaysia by Malaysian, how to compete with them. So in summary, compared to our productivity, which is 6 to 12 times lower than them. So this is our current situation. Number one is our earning is lower than them. Number two, our size is lower than them. Okay, so let's look at our body corporation if registered with BEM. So this statistics about a year old, but never mind, the number is about there. You can see there are 1,000 over consultant body corporate. ECP, that means consultant, 2,500 consultant in Malaysia. So what does this mean? So many of them are one-man show or few person, and they are very good in specialist work. But because they do not form size big enough, when the government got mega project, they can't participate, and then they can't grow. And we continue to have few thousand consultants, but every time a mega project come, we have to employ foreign consultant. Okay, foreign consultant, that means, what I mean is those who have international ownership, not really Malaysia brand. Okay, so this is the challenges of us. So let's look at our statistics. I record up to 2017. I didn't update it. So you can see the biggest is ECOM. ECOM has a 562, maybe currently, don't know how much is that. So you can see when I tell you, this is from 2015 to 2017. 1 minute, I just close. Okay. Okay, sorry. You can see from here, basically the numbers are so few. They are never exceeded 600. And these are the top in Malaysia. And the green color represent the international brand in Malaysia. So you can see from these, international firms are 20 to 150 times larger than Malaysia firm. So this is the statistics we have. So these are our challenges. So Malaysia are too small and fragmented. You can see 2,500 consultancy firms. So, and how big are they? They are too small and they are fragmented. Then the second thing is that lack of motivation and determination to create a sustainable ECP. They only focus on short-term personal gain. Personal gain, that means to survive. Some people say, why I got gain? It's only to survive. Same thing. So last week I shared about a sustainable ECP, but many of them not even have the resources to spend to be sustainable. So it's just like trying to survive. So lack of capitalization, as we all know, because ownership of ECP or engineering consultant has to be 70% owned by engineers with professional engineers with practicing cert. So you can't even allow contractor to buy a big sum or PMB or TMB to buy a big stake in your company to grow. So lack of capitalization. So what happened? We end up Malaysia firms provide cheap labor to international firms when come to mega project. They will come, they will lead, and all the leaders come from overseas, and Malaysia talented engineers are become a cheap labor working for them. And when they get the fees, majority of fees will be exported out as an outflow of our currency. So what happened? Loss of talents to overseas market. So those people after work a while, they say, why should I stay in Malaysia? I just have to cross the straits, Johor Straits, go to Singapore. I earn 3 times my salary. I still get to come back if suddenly got mega project in Malaysia. So they end up working in Singapore firm, then mega project in Malaysia, KL, they come back again. So these are the norm. It's not what I say only. I meet many of them. Some are my ex-staff. So these are norm. Outflow of money due to import of services. Just imagine how much of outflow our government lost, our country lost, because we are not able to retain the money inside. If you employ a Malaysian brand, a Malaysian working, all the money are still here. It's still circulating in our economy, help the economy, but not because the money outflow. Then we don't have that. We lost our money. Not able to become big, high income society. So we have been talking about Wawasan 2020, which is this year, now postponed to 2050. If we never change, if the way we expect the same way of working and expect different result, Einstein always say, it's crazy to expect a different result if you continue to use the same method. So it's a time to change. So we want to have high income society. What I can share with you is only professional services. There are other industry which I have no knowledge, I would not share. But engineering consultant, at least there are some way we should try. So number D, not able to grow to export services and compete internationally. So this A, B, C, D has been bugging us for the last, at least not 40 years, 20 to 30 years. If we continue to let the same way, I think it will bug us another 50 years for sure. So now, the model I'm going to propose to the government is as follows. The government want to groom and grow the consultancy firm to deliver quality service. That's very important. You don't want to groom them just to be big. They must provide quality service. And to double their capacity, the size, within 5 to 10 years, okay, without extra budget to government. You say, hey, how can you grow something without extra budget? Our government has been awarding consultancy firms, consultancy job out for government project. So use that, some of the project to groom this qualified firm. So how to qualify? And maybe MPC or PSPN can be the coordinator so that they are also part of the government, they'll be fair, then we can move on from here. So then we say, hey, there's no project, maybe now no project, but there should be project coming up soon, okay? So just look at the total project value of Malaysia construction. It has been talked about billions, okay? Even worse, after 2016, now 2020, I believe there will be at least 60 to 70 billion. So there is no such thing as no project. I believe there are still projects. It's only thing whether the way of working has to be changed. Model for government to grow the engineering consultancy firm. It can be also applied to architect firm. It can be applied to accounting firm. It can be applied to other professional services, even legal firm. So number one is a selection of this firm. Then after you select them, we have the what they call the essence to be a sustainable firm. Then you start to groom them. Then finally, you export the services, not only for local consumption, but also for export. Okay, so there are step by step. First step, you have to select the qualified firm that wish to be sustainable. You don't want the firm that wish to earn all the income and the boss retired happily after a few years. That is not the firm you are looking for. Okay, what are the criteria? It must be Malaysian-owned brand. What is Malaysian-owned brand? That means they are not from international setting up branches or office or Sendian Berhad in Malaysia. Because you know, if they are international brand, whatever they earn, they have to report back or send out the money back to their HQ because the New York Stock Exchange or Hong Kong or whatever. So Malaysian brand, that means they are Malaysian built since beginning, and employment of Malaysians should be more than 95% or 90%. So that not only we grow our company, we also grow Malaysia's citizen to be a high income society. So we have achieved that. Must be owned by Malaysian, okay? Do not engage or import foreign services or foreigner money out of country, not more than 30% of total revenue. That means you must show your record, declared, okay, which can be checked. If found out to be lying, then you are disqualified. Not only professionally, you'll be charged. Maybe there's some rules and regulation, the government will take action against them. So to prevent, by hiding all the information, in reality, they are actually a foreign brand or foreign owner that every year they expatriate a lot of money out. So control it, not more than 30%. But minimum size of 20 engineers. We don't want, yes, we say, hey, 20 engineers is very small, but a lot of people will object, no, my company only 3. So sorry, there must be a number to start with. If you are 3, to grow to 6 is also double, right? So it's too small, no way. Any mega project, easily you talk about 100 people to 200 people have to be involved. So, but we have to be realistic because, or else they say, oh, Dr. Tan, you are unfair because you are a very big company, you have few hundred people, so you start with few hundred, then people say it's a personal interest. So we start with a minimum size 20s, which are fair. I believe there are more than 1,000 or even 500 company in Malaysia which have more than 20 engineers. So they can qualify. Then they have to pass the company level evaluation. That detail, I will give you some key point, but the detail will be the training that MPC and PSPN will conduct later. I will share the detail how to fulfill. So company level evaluation, more than 60 points. So in order to qualify for this sustainable scheme to be groomed by the government, we must base on qualitative way. That means there must be point system given, not based on quantitative, not based on, that means it has to be quantitative, not only qualitative. That means they are able to come up with the point system. You qualify, you don't qualify, then you try again. So there are 2 levels, major level, macro level. One is called company level. Another macro level is called individual level. So 2 level will be assessed. One is, what is the sustainability elements in your company? I will elaborate a bit more later. If you listen to my talk last week, all the sustainability elements can be referred to that, okay? Minimum passing point, 60. If you don't pass this 60 point, sorry, you try again. You can, it's quite not difficult to try again because by changing your ownership and things like that, later I will go into detail, you can fulfill within a year or even half a year. Individual level only will be applied if you have already passed the company level. No point if you don't even pass here, then we ask for you to send your staff a CV, all this, wasting your time. So once you pass the company level, then we'll look at the individual level. That means which field you are good in. Some people say engineering, everything. No way. We also know medical. If you go to GP, it's everything, right? But nowadays you have hospital where specialized in eye, specialized in gastro, specialized in heart. Similarly, in engineering, to do a quality service in the complicated mega project or big project or export services, you need to have niche and skills in different fields. So you have to have staff in the different field where they are good, okay? So either they are good in railway, highway, or transportation, or geotech, dams, drainage, structures, and things like that. So all this had to be in individual level. So let's start with the macro level, step 1. What is the company level of evaluation? First part, training and knowledge dissemination system. Whether your company train your engineer. As we all know, many of the consultancy firms, yes, I train my engineer. How you train? Oh, they work with my senior, they work with me. So they follow me around, they do my job, that's called training. That is called on-the-job training. the training and knowledge dissemination system is beyond that. That means you educate, you have a talk every week or every 2 weeks where you share your experience on different projects. Even let's say your company got 20 engineers, got 3 directors. I don't believe all 3 directors are involved in the same project. So this week, Director A will share about challenges of his project, and the team not working with him can learn. So this is called lateral learning, that everyone can learn the skills in the whole company despite he is not involved in that project. Okay, that's under training and knowledge dissemination. And also, that means you compile, document, or design methodology, processes, document properly. Engineers straight away can use and access rather than waiting for the senior to teach him step by step. So all these are in this training and knowledge dissemination system, as I shared last week. Then you must have a quality assurance and quality control. If your company not able to provide good quality service, it's no point for government to spend the effort and the money to grow you, because you may fail a project and cause loss to your company because there's no quality control and quality assurance. So all these check and review things must be in place. Evidence to show that. Then you must also have a sustainable rewarding and profit sharing program. This is a real world. You cannot give them a vision, because people will tell you, show me the money. I can believe you 3 years, 1 year, 2 years, but after 5 years, I have to start to doubt. How can you tell me you have profit sharing? I work for you 5 years. I see so many mega projects. You don't even share with me. I always see you change from your Mercedes C-Class to E-Class to 7 Series. Then you have Ferrari. All this, only the directors, only profit. Where am I? So they will leave. That is all part of the major problem in Malaysia engineering consultancy. That is why people want to retain, the owner want to sapu all. And the staff feel not fair. So they are PEPC, professional engineer practices. They go out and form their own company. 1-man show, 2-man show. Then after that, they will repeat the same thing. Whatever profit, because last time the company, the boss also like that. I will do the same. I will sapu all the profit. I just give enough for my staff to keep them. Then these are the repeating the bad work cycle that Malaysian consultancy firm will never grow. So you must show what is the rewarding and profit sharing system program in your company. So that once you fulfill this macro company level 1, 2, 3, you can achieve at least minimum point, then you qualify. Okay, so let's go into detail. Element 1, training and knowledge dissemination, despite I talked about it earlier. That means this is essential component. It's very important because you cannot rely on the skill training only. You must have continuous improvement of engineering skills leading to higher profitability, because by improving your engineer skill and knowledge through learning and technical knowledge sharing and systematic training, they will be more efficient. The more efficient, that means it's also more profitable and also higher quality of services. So there must be a systematic and consistent training of engineers. Systematic, that means you cannot say, oh, 1 year I send my staff to IEM training course 2 times, and then I send to ACM training course. That is ad hoc. That means only when you send them, they train. Systematic, that means it must be monthly training, that you train all engineers. Because when you send out, you don't send the whole office. I don't believe any company will send their whole office, unless the whole office is the director and engineer, 2 staff, okay lah, they can send the whole office. But a big company, 20 engineers, I don't believe all 20 engineers will send out for the same cost every time. So in-house training. Knowledge dissemination and sharing system, that means you must have an intranet. Nowadays, intranet is very easy in your local network. That information can be acquired straight away by working on the desktop. You can get the design for a certain design, or the Excel spreadsheet to do certain analysis, or even the checklist of specification. So all this knowledge dissemination and sharing system must be in place. Then only you are able to grow and you're able to export services. So these are key criteria of element 1. Next one, element 2, quality assurance and quality control, as I say, to reduce human error. Okay, and that could lead to financial or legal issues and losses, that even worse, like major disasters or even killing people. So quality assurance must be in place. So you must show what are the availability of clear, systematic, and evidence-based. You cannot say, yeah, my company have check and review. Can you show me the process? Yeah, lah, I check and review. Is there any form? No form lah. I am the director and PPC. No, I check and review. Okay, one. You see, finally I sign on the drawing. That is not a check and review. That is the endorsement. Yes, you may check, but there is no processes to show evidence of your check. There must be form to fill in. There must be records. There must be people who sign it and say that I have checked for this, so that they take responsibility and liability for it. Evidence-based, okay? If possible, if you have ISO system, will be a good thing, because ISO require you to have a systematic documentation in place, recording, so that even a project that you completed 8 years ago, let's say anything happened, they want to find, can your company system get it within 24 hours? So that is a challenge, okay? So all these things must be in place. Then the most important thing is sustainable, rewarding, and profit sharing program. You must have a long-term sustainability program that you reward and profit share with your capable people, the senior engineers onward. They are the one generating revenue for you, and they are the one that potentially can be your competitors. If you can keep them, not only you will grow, you also reduce competitor. So that's a win-win situation. Okay, profit sharing. Identify engineers that have potential for long-term growth to be rewarded with extra overpayment in terms of profit sharing in the company. Despite they are not shareholder, you can give them extra bonus. Declare, let's say you're 100% owner of the company. You declare dividend 1 million to yourself. Instead of you take 1 million, maybe you say, okay, I take 300,000, 700,000, I put back to the company, I pay them as extra bonuses to all these key staff to retain them. This is the profit sharing I'm talking about. If you want to keep everything, don't waste your time in the sustainable firm, because definitely your firm is not sustainable because you want everything by yourself. You are not sharing. Only engineers who have worked more than, let's say, 3 years qualify for profit sharing program. These engineers are termed senior engineers in this section. So we will ask you to show how you reward your engineers so that you can be sustainable. We don't want to say, yes, I reward my engineer. I reward the engineer is called myself 100%. So it's called a rewarding system. That is not a sustainable system. Profit sharing of the company income shall be a clear and systematic process to come up. That means you must have a written how much percentage I'm going to share, how much percentage I'm going to give to the owner, things like that. Profit sharing should not be monopolized by a few owners or shareholders only, and should be shared with key and senior staff working full-time in the company. If the shareholders are also working full-time, then they are also considered as full-time staff. So we also want the sleeping partners that do not contribute will also have a do not have the sharing of profit sharing in as the working staff. Okay. Individual level, there are 3 components. There are experience of professional staff, their professional qualification, additional professional recognition. So with that, okay, so the matching of, so the matching and grooming of sustainable ECP is that only those who have pre-qualified, that means you have fulfilled A and B, then you are able to be selected in the consortium to form the consortium, let's say for a certain mega project. So then based on your skill, capability, experience, and certain field, you qualify, and the number of key staff, because different size of project require different numbers of staff. Then all these things are the selection for certain project already. So in summary, these are detailed. I'm not going to go. That means you have at least your staff strength must be 1.5 times more than the members, the staff required for certain project. Okay. What are the benefits of the model and the conclusion? Benefits is that you are building up expertise, capabilities, and quality of local engineering consultancy firm. You also improve earning potential through increased capacity, productivity, and later export of services. Last, better position to navigate through regional economic cycles. As you are sustainable, as I shared last week, your chances of you surviving downturn will be higher than those who are non-sustainable model. Conclusion, it is possible for Malaysian government to grow quality engineering consultancy firm to double their capacity within 5 to 10 years. this can be done without extra budget to the government. Basically, use the current allocation of project. That's it. We are not asking for special project. Select a 1 or 2 project as a pilot trial and do it and see what's the outcome. Okay, maybe 10% could grow 3 companies to double their size to achieve the capacity. Okay, government can align about 3% of the yearly allocation, 3% only for the consultancy job. Okay, grooming of sustainability can bring to great benefits to the country. So with that, I conclude my presentation. I have to apologize for all the noise as I'm at home. So I apologize for that. Thank you very much. I stop sharing.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tan. That's okay. The noise actually creates our concentration because that will actually add color to the morning, Saturday morning especially. I believe as we go more detail and more detail, the content sharing will be lesser, but the question and answer should be more, because that's the way I think when we get education, right? We ask more as we get to a higher level. So this is already the 3rd level. Your coaching session will begin after this, and I saw some of the formulas and some of the sigma lah, the what you call derivative there. So that's okay. That's actually the how should I say the beginnings of the I call it level learning. So are there any questions from the audience? Because I saw here there are about close to 40 people here, and they are very intently listening, I hope, and it's a very good presentation, Doctor. Okay, I got one question while the participants are asking questions. Okay. Yes, in your 3 series, this is the 3rd series, you have spoken about consortiums and also individual companies. I believe that there are also companies that the partners are of almost equal age. That's okay. That's very easy to handle. Like for instance, if you are 35 or 40 and your bosses or your senior partners is about 5 years above you, so that's, to me, is considered almost equal age. What happens, when you actually have got staff that, or rather your makeup of your board has got the age difference of more than 15 years from the young to the most elderly? So how do you handle this sort of inequitable, not just in terms of the profit sharing, but in terms of the way that you are going to conduct this sort of office, which later to be inserted into this consortium? If you can enlighten us, I think, because I think some of the engineering firm are actually having this sort of issue.
Okay. I believe age is not a problem. It's rather commitment of the board of directors. Let's say you have a current board of directors, 3 person. One is 70, put it extreme lah, 70 years old. One is 50 years old and one is 30 years old. Let's take a 20 years as a gap. So if they have been operating, let's say they have a staff of total of 50 people. Then finally they decided MPC, PSP and this model goods, despite we have been doing some of it, I want to improve further. So then you have other senior engineers who may not be owner. Let's say the 3 owner is 70, 50 and 30. Okay, then there are engineers who are 50 plus, 40 plus, 30 plus. They are also professional engineer with practicing cert, but they are not owner. So as long as the 3 owner, you have to start with the owners. If the owners that own the company decided that, okay, I want to grow my company, which are now 50 people to 100 people, I believe by growing double, my income will double. Let's put it a simple way. So despite I'm earning a dividend of, let's say, $500,000 a year, shared by 3 of us equally, let's say the A, B, C, 70, 50, and 30 years old people. So if I grow by double, I become 1 million, right? I don't mind that I take out, let's say, 400,000. I still earn 600,000, I had 100,000 to share with me. But if I go 3 times, then I become maybe 1 million. I take a $500,000 to share with the non-owners. So if they are set up their mind that they're willing to share, that is the first step. The second step is that they have to write, which if they based on my coaching next time, they will based on the system that I'm going to propose to form this consortium and whatever, as their shareholding and a sharing profit. And that sharing profit, I believe, because my company have been doing that, I don't suffer. Actually, I earn more. Because by growing the size, you are growing a cake. Let's say now you are 100% own a company. Let's say I myself individual, I own 100%. Every time I take 100% of dividend or income because I don't pay other people, I own a muffin. Okay, a muffin, 100%. But now my cake is 3 kg. I own 10%. Which are more? A muffin more, a 3 kg cake with 10%. Definitely a 3 kg cake. But if I take out the 10% of 3 kg cake, the 90% I, let's say, so kind of share out, or even no, I take 20%. I'm greedy now because I want to take 20% because I'm 100% ownership. I share 80%, let's say. If the cake, suddenly because I share 80%, people are so motivated, they work so hard, they take it as their company, they grow to a 10 kg cake. During the 10 kg cake, I still take 20%. It's 2 kg. So the mentality is not to take everything. The mentality is to grow the pie. To grow the pie, you need to have a team that are committed to grow with you. But if the team that only think that I don't want to grow, I want to retire, I'm 70 years old, it's okay. Even for the 50, 30, 50, 70, if the 70 people say, no, I want to retain. So maybe you all have to finalize it. Okay, you retired. I pay you out, or you retire in 5 years, but systematically we are changing. So start with ownership. The owners have to make up the mind. Then when we share in the next coaching, if the system that is good for a company, you can start to implement that. I believe with the government committed to help, I hope through MPC, MITI, the government can have few trial projects to let it have a try and then keep track of the outcome and not let go. No, you give job, people may convince you, I want to do this. It's you do first, then only I give you job. It's not I give you job, then you do. You know, all this trick is that, you know, I would change. I would definitely share profit when the government give me this job. No, actually it doesn't work. You change now. Then I give you. Maybe next year only we start giving, or 2022. Then say, hey, not fair lah. No, this world is better because we are convincing government to commit to certain things. If we are MPC, we better make sure that what we convince don't turn into a front page of a newspaper, a whole group of con trying to get the government to do something. No, you prove first, then only I recommend you. I think that should be the way.
So that's the way that we have to go. These three pieces, the people, public, and private people to work on. Okay, I got one question here from IR Chan Kung Lei. It's to you, I think. I think the basic is this question and how you can advise so that we can move forward, because we need to also show to the government that we're also quite serious.
Okay.
With some ECP firms not having ISO until now, as a result of their thinking, it may cut their time or procedures and filing focus on serving client requirements to developers or even G7 contractor that has ISO. So what's your advice and what's your take on that, especially ISO now? Even the ISO 9000 also has already gone into something more detailed, and then you also got now the ESG, you also got many other items. So can you advise on this ISO, because I think this is part of the government in order to make local consultancy, not just engineering, to be at par with level of their ISO or their counterpart, like you showed just now, ACOM, Pickford, all those sort of things. So Doctor,
okay,
enlighten that. Thanks.
Okay, on ISO I can speak a lot. You know why? When my old company, before I came out and formed this our GMP group, I am the quality manager that draft the whole quality manual and quality procedure, because they had tried to get external people to bring the standard form to use in the consultancy. It doesn't work. It creates a lot of paperwork, unnecessary and bogged down. So you have actually ISO now is very friendly. You ask me, They just say, you show me, you do this. How you do it is you must fit the ISO to your company, not the company to the ISO. If you fit your own daily operation, that already there, you just use ISO to say that, okay, in this project, I just write it down that I've been doing this, this is how I check. But if your company is kalang kabut lah, sorry. If you're kalang kabut, that means you can't even fit the ISO. That means that is the company I so-called is there's no quality check, there's no procedure, there's no traceability. So in keyword is like that. There must be a check, there must be a traceability, there must be a record, there must be a preventive and corrective action. So in summary, these are the 5 keywords of ISO only. If you have that, actually our company, you ask my engineers, they don't even know our company is practicing ISO. Except every year, sometimes they are called in by the SIRIM auditor to ask some question, which they answer like they are normal working, not knowing that I need to prepare specially for ISO. And I have 2 admin staff that handle the filing and the documentation control, which is any company also, you need these people. So if by saying that ISO costs you more time, number one, either you get the wrong ISO system, that means you write other people to write for you. No. They advise you, but your system had to fit your company, not the company fit the ISO. Then once you're in place, you should make the ISO like not feel at all. That means the staff don't even know you have ISO, but they are doing ISO. That is achievable. I've been doing that. You can talk to my staff in the company. They have been filling forms, and we even reduce the form because we feel that this one not even need. So some are automatically generated. They just have to acknowledge, and we now even go digitalization. Digitalization means there is no physical form. It's all online. You just have to click, just like you do any survey monkey, you fill out the form or not in the internet.
Google form basically is Google form.
It's all in the web, and the traceability are even better than the olden days. You can retract within minutes. You log in, you retract. So ISO, don't take ISO as a burden. ISO is just a tool. Get the right person, especially in-house, do it. For me, very simple. If you're an engineer, you read the ISO document, you know what to do. Yeah. When I start reading, I thought it's so complicated. After I read, I laugh. If we can do engineering, ISO system is only need 20%, 15% of our level of skills. So can be do in-house.
So that means to say it has to be a culture already right from day one. And
yeah, no, your mentality must be, you know, a good company, what is this? You must have a check and review quality. You must have a traceability. You cannot tell my client, oh, sorry, your project, I lost your file. That is called traceability. You must have a record. If a client call you, hey, I let you do that project a few years ago, I shelf now, I want to restart. Can you continue? Sorry, I lost everything. So you don't have record. 3. 4, you must have a corrective and preventive action. If you do something wrong, you don't want to continue to do the same thing. So you must have how to make sure you don't repeat. So all these things is a good essence of a company. ISO just put it into documentation. And to be honest, the documentation is very thin only.
It should be a storyline of the project that incidentally, all this, whatever we are seeing here is actually available on the way up later. And there is a video on it. So that means to say that if you missed the syllable or the word or whatever, you can still track back on the video that's going to be put up on your way up. Do tell your friends also, and I hope your coaching session will be to this level of detail, and I think that's where the participant will get the added benefit. And this is what MPC is promulgating, and also PSPN to assist the people who are actually doing the industry. And I think during this pandemic, in my opinion, I know rather than we just learning from the internet of other countries, we've got our own local talent that we can actually learn from, and it can also be used as what Dr. Tan is saying. It can also be used in other professions. You only need to tweak it a bit to your own profession. And these are where the questions and answers session should actually enlighten us more. Incidentally, while waiting for other questions, I have one question here, especially on your point system. Yeah, you said 60 points there, right? how do you arrive at that 60 points, Doc? Because there's some people who will question why you use 60, why not 45, why not 55? You know,
Oh,
then
yeah.
at least
The point system, because you can use a 200 point. So I make it simple. I like 100%. That means anything that fulfill everything is 100%. So, but you can say 50 point as a pass, but we are talking about the sustainable firm that we are going to promote to the government. Actually, initially I starting with 70%. Then I said that, hey, some people will find it very difficult. So I dropped it to 60. That means better than 50, but in the middle of 70. Because let's say if you want to say that these are sustainable firm and they just barely pass the sustainability, the chances of they actually grow is less. So 60% is where but it's not a cast in stone. That's why I say this is a proposed model. In order for it to implement, there will have to have a sit down with MOF, MITI, to come up with a more detailed point system, which they have to put their input. Then only we will finalize it. Okay, this is a proposed model only.
Proposed model lah. Okay, I got one question here from Clement Wong. He asked here, since the pandemic is a problem right now, especially Klang, just now I just received from the MITI, there are a lot of SOPs to be adhered to. So how to implement work from home, especially engineering, because right now we're talking engineering.
Okay.
Later, maybe you can trickle down to other profession, because engineering, just like architecture, you got site problem, you got site issues, and you got design issues, and you also got authority issues. So can you enlighten the floor about this matter? Thank you.
Okay. I think MPC and PSPN in April, when we are all full-blown MCO, I give a talk on the new norm for engineering consultancy firm. Basically means how to work from home as an engineering consultancy firm, and also how the government can help. So we even ask for some funding and things like that. I believe there are some MyDeck or whatever, they have some grant and whatever that you can apply. Okay, to answer it, I myself, our company, now we are call ourselves 80% pandemic ready firm. How to call 80%? That means if within 2 days, the government say, I'm going to lock down, none of you can go to office, can your office still operate to deliver? Let's say only your company is locked down, that region, and the staff cannot go in. They have to leave. Within 2 days, they will lock you down for 1 month. Will you lose all the revenue? Since the pandemic, we have been upgrading. That means we have been doing our intranet system, because our company for the last 20 years, since the day one, actually we start with intranet. During that time, the intranet is very lousy, very slow. And we have been evolved for the last 20 years. So all our servers are in-house. In the future, it may be cloud, but now it's still in-house. So we store all our analysis, design, report, drawings, everything are in the server. So let's say now start 2 days MCO, our staff, all the computer we have buy for them the Wi-Fi connector for the desktop, so that they bring their computer from office to their house. If you don't have notebook, we cannot expect the stuff you by yourself. No. That means we allow you to carry. That means 2 days later with MCO, now today you carry back when you go home, you carry all your computer together with the Wi-Fi server I give you, but your house need to have internet. I cannot cover that for you. So some of my staff actually have using their mobile phone, but you don't have online all the time. What you need is to take files, do work, finish file it back. And then we also do pandemic ready. That means all our report, forms, design, drawing are digital signature. Even my PE endorsement now are digital signature, using a PDF digital signature. That is actual digital signature, not scan and put, you have insert signature. That means you can trace who actually sign it, when they sign it, authorized signing is all password protected. So we have
banks.
Okay, I just want to tell you good news. They are free.
Oh.
The digital, okay, Moose, later I'll show you the software.
So you just put later on the chat box, then people can do, because I think
Okay,
this
because
is
I
the
don't
part
want.
of pandemic lah. We got to share good practices
Because
and
today is not on pandemic, ma. Today
yeah.
is on model. So it's
Yeah.
actually all my forms. Since then, we have created all the forms in digital format. Even the contractor need to submit. I don't even allow them to come. I say, don't give me hard copy. I send you this form, you got